team.
Yeah, Bojan Bogdanovic, who wasn't there in the bubble. Let's hear from the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, not only about the Utah Jazz, but about getting in Salt Lake City at 2 a.m. Tough break for the Warriors.
Well, it's hard to tell given that we got in at 2 o'clock in the morning. So it was a crazy day of travel yesterday with a lot of delays and no shoot around today. We had a brief meeting. This is just one of those strange games that happens every year on the schedule where everything goes wrong and your preparation is off and you have no idea what to expect. And in this particular case, we're coming in to play the hottest team in the league. So we'll have our hands full tonight, but it'll be good to get back out on the floor and hopefully play with more discipline defensively, less fouling, more rebounding, and give ourselves a chance.
Yeah, tough break for the Warriors getting in Salt Lake City at 2 a.m., fellas. And, of course, Steve Kerr talked about less fouling. They're second in the league when it comes to fouls per game at 23.7. A lot of hacking going on with the Golden State Warriors. Got a rebound, of course, and against this Utah Jazz team. You don't want to put them on the line. You don't want to get in foul trouble or get them in the bonus because it will be a long night for the Warriors.
Well, it takes discipline. It takes KYP, know your personnel, the scouting report. And tonight, when you go on the road, you want energy, but they may be physically tired. So what's going to be probably more important is focus, right, and the discipline of not fouling, right? And then follow through on the game plan. Run the three-pointers off the three-point line. Make sure you don't give up middle. If you know how you guard in the pick and roll. Right? And first and foremost, part of the defense, transition. Get back on defense. Don't give them easy baskets in transition, Darrell.
Yeah, and I think they didn't do a good job of that last game. They gave up, I think, 17 points to the New York Knicks, who play a more slow-paced game. So they definitely got to get back in transition, more attention to detail. And, they're a great defense team so far. They just got to, that last little final line is play without fouling. Right. Try to be aggressive because you don't want to put a good team on a free throw line 20, 30 times in one half. So they got to definitely be ready for that.
And Darrell, you said it over at the desk there. Don't get frustrated. If you make one mistake, don't follow up with another one. Right?
No
Just
doubt.
correct your mistakes in real time.
And they made a lot of mistakes against the New York Knicks. We're going to break down that bad defense coming up here because they gave up 119 points to the New York Knickerbockers. They scored 94 last night.
First possession, no one picked up the basketball. So now here we are. The Knicks are in three-point range, no contest. No one declared the ball in transition, Darrell.
Yeah, you definitely got to pick up the ball and declare the ball. And right here, Julius Randle, better playmaker throughout this season. No hands on the post-up. And then Steph losing his man to a good shooter.
In that paint area, you have to have high active hands, take away the passing angles. Here, just a simple little pick and roll. But the roll man, Nico Mannion, bump Mitchell Robinson, stand there, take it in the chest. Don't give him a free run to the rim. Oh, that's going to happen.
You see here with the breakdown, more breakdown here with the Warriors here defensively, just kind of blowing it.
Yeah, and this is a zone right here. So, guys got to communicate better in the zone. And then I think Bazemore overreacted to not a great three-point shooter. And then you give an athletic wing, a free baseline drive to the basket for a highlight play.
That's where frustration comes in for Steve Kerr and his staff. You go zone to prevent dribble penetration. The guy dribble penetrates, and then you have a non-shooter at the corner three, just close out short, you overrun him, and you give him a dunk.
Toppin, yeah.
The discipline of the scouting report, and most importantly, discipline, play defense without fouling.
And look, we've talked a lot about the bench, the Warriors bench here, the dubstitutes, as they call them here. We're not calling them the swag brothers, but the dubstitutes here. And they're struggling a bit here, especially in that New York Knicks game. I know they cut into the Knicks lead when the Knicks scored 40 that first quarter, but it was really a tough flow for them. Bazemore, Lee, and they've been putting Oubre in with that second unit to start the second quarter. No Wiggins. We've seen that for the last 3 games. And it seems like, Darrell, that the bench has started to lose its flow.
Yeah, they just got to bring better energy. I feel like Pascal's been pretty consistent, but it's the other guys as well. That's why they've been so successful this year, is because it's been a total team effort when it comes to the bench play. So they just got to do a better job when they come in the game early and not try to, do whatever the starters are doing. They got to take the lead up or keep the lead pretty close. So they just got to do a better job with their energy and get those good looks that they were getting the previous few games.
We talk discipline on the defensive end by not fouling. Offensively, the discipline is shot selection. Steve Kerr mentioned it felt like there was 20 block shots.
Right.
They were over-penetrating. Take the open shot. The closest shot, not necessarily the best shot. It's the open shot. And let the ball do the work. A lot of over-dribbling, getting yourself into trouble, and desperation passes.
Does it have anything to do with Oubre being inserted with that second unit because he's a different type of player than Andrew Wiggins? They both can slash, but Wiggins loves that pull-up jumper. Should Kerr maybe go back to that lineup with Andrew Wiggins starting with the second unit? Does that have anything to do with some of the struggles with the second unit in this past week?
Well, I'm going to say the San Antonio game, the starters were so good, right? They scored 64.
64 the first half.
Right, so the starters dominated. The Knick game, Draymond being thrown out threw the whole substitution pattern out of whack. So you know what? They got a game tonight to reestablish themselves. And as far as Steve Kerr using Andrew Wiggins or Kelly Oubre, I think it's a game-by-game feel. You know, he's done both. Depends how the other players are playing and how Andrew Wiggins or Oubre are playing.
Yeah, I think he did a good job with inserting Oubre when he was getting off to a great start. So that's why we saw Oubre out there with that second unit. But I think it's going to be just depending on who's playing well and who's hot, and he's going to keep the best option in it. But I think the thing that Andrew Wiggins does bring is more playmaking in the pick and roll, getting downhill, getting his shot, and also finding his teammates on the perimeter.
And we talked how Draymond is so important offensively, playing point forward, letting Steph play off the ball. That second unit, they need Wanamaker to organize them.
Yep.
Right? So if Steph's not in the game and the double team's not coming, you need to get into your offense and make sure everyone's organized.
Yeah, Wanamaker struggled against